That reminds me a wonderful idea from the book called The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. And I just love the idea, the way he has presented it. So, assume, Justin, that you have already achieved 10 goals, 10 dreams of your life.
Mm.
What is the obvious natural outcome of you having achieved these goals? So, you would probably say happiness. You'll be happy, right?
Mm.
Okay. But he says there is a better answer to it. Okay. So let's try to dig deeper into this. What is the opposite of happiness? Sadness? Yeah. The opposite of happiness is sadness, right? He says no. Okay. The opposite of happiness is not sadness, it is boredom. Because happiness and sadness are two sides of the same coin. Where there is happiness, there has to be sadness in between. Only then you'll become again happy, right? So they are not the opposite things, they are the two sides of the same coin. So if the opposite of happiness is boredom, then a better appropriate synonym for happiness is excitement. So when people say that, find your passion, work, do what you love, do what you are passionate about, they're basically saying do what excites you. So the right question to be asked is, you should not ask what is my goal, what do I want to achieve, but ask yourself, what is that excites me? What is that something where I lose track of time? And my mother used to, when I was a child, she had to pull me out of all of that activity. Come have lunch. Used to forget your thirst and hunger and get into that flow state.
Yeah.
So we have to fantastic, and I got such a clarity that what I have to do in life. Yeah,
Yeah.
reading books for others is so exciting. Everybody reads for oneself, but nobody
Yeah.
reads for others, and
Yeah.
that was like a
Yeah.
dopamine hit for me. Yeah, and I decided that okay, this time I'm not going to chase money. It's not about myself. It's about helping my friends to cultivate reading habit. And the simplest way to execute that idea within 1 week without any IT knowledge was to get started on WhatsApp. Because I know that the whole of India is on WhatsApp, including my friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the first book that I summarized was Acres of Diamonds by Russell Conwell. It's a very, very old book,
Mm.
Acres of Diamonds by Russell Conwell. And one idea which was so fascinating from that book. It says constraint inspires creativity. And I was like, what? Constraint inspires creativity. We typically think that, for creativity and innovation, we need lots of ideal resources and a laboratory setup and a mentor, and then innovation happens, right? He says exactly the opposite. Creative constraint is not an obstacle, it is the mother of creativity. For example, for example, I know you're a model and you have a fantastic physique. So when the lockdown was declared initially, and
Mm.
those bodybuilders and gym freak guys went mad because we thought that the lockdown will last for a few days,
Yeah.
and then it happened for months, right? And
Yeah.
then gradually, because the gyms were closed, they started thinking creatively and started making use of things which are already available at home. They
Yeah.
started
And that
using,
was that was a benefit of the pandemic. Yeah.
yes, they started using buckets of water as dumbbells and started doing pull-ups on the doors,
Yeah.
right? Which they
Yeah.
never thought of before because there was no constraint. Gyms were open. For the first time, gyms were closed, so they were forced to think creatively.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the author is trying to say.